Hello, good evening, welcome. I don't have a cat in the box, but I have a cat on the drafting table, so I swiveled around the webcam and zoomed in, so that of course means he'll immediately leave. Other news, my cat is the size of a drafting table. Anyway, we're doing more Choose Wisely Festival games tonight. This one is called A Spaceship Accident. Looks like an interesting little narrative game, so let's hop in and check it out. In this story, you are Frederick Anderson, a young astronaut embarking on a mission of space exploration. But life aboard the SS Celestia station is routine, a series of predictable tasks and quiet moments. The vastness of space stretches endlessly outside your window, constant reminder of your solitude away from your daughter. Days blur together, a cycle of maintenance checks and data logging, until one day something unexpected disrupts the monotony. Oh. No, we'll keep the name. Who do you want to be? But before we get to move on to the interesting bit, let's decide one thing. Who do you want to be? Moments of crisis when the familiar order gives way to chaos, who are you? This was not just a question of skills or training, it was about the core of your being, the values that guided you when everything else fell apart. Let's be an engineer. You're always the kind of kid who took things apart just to see how they worked. Not out of destruction. No, never that. You just needed to understand. Your father used to joke that if the family shuttle went missing, he'd find it in your room neatly disassembled with every bolt and wire lined up in careful rows. The first time you rebuilt something on your own, you were 7. A broken comlink busted beyond repair. At least that's what your mother said before you made it work again. From then on, it was obvious. Machines made sense. They followed rules. They could be fixed. People? That was harder. You studied engineering because it felt like the only thing that made sense. Machines don't lie, didn't hurt you, didn't leave. They just worked, and if they didn't, you could fix them. So you learned. Ships, stations, AI, every cog in the vast machine that kept humanity moving through the stars. Of course, now I have a cat entering the box. Well, I'm not rearranging it right now. But Val is going into the box. I only have one webcam. And then she happened. You never planned to have a kid. You were too busy, too focused on your work. But the moment your daughter was born, everything in you shifted. Suddenly, machines weren't the only things worth fixing. Suddenly you had something real. A family, a future, a reason to look up from the schematics and see the world around you. She was your gravity, your constant, and so, for the first time in your life, you stopped running. You built a life. Quiet, stable. You worked as a ship engineer at a corporate outpost, fixing freighters and long haulers, making just enough to keep her fed, keep her safe. You'd promised yourself she'd never have to grow up wondering if she mattered more than your work. But you should have known better. Because corporations don't care about stability. When the layoffs came, you were just another number on a balance sheet. One day you had a job. The next you had nothing. No severance, no relocation, no way to feed your kid. That's when the call came. It was an old friend. Someone you'd worked with back in training. They had a contract, an off-world gig, good money. Dangerous, sure, but wasn't everything out on the frontier. Told yourself it'd be just one job, just enough to get back on your feet, enough to take care of her. You left in the middle of the night. She was too young to understand why. You told yourself you'd come back, that this was just temporary, that this time you could fix it. But then the job went wrong. It wasn't supposed to be a combat mission. You were hired as an engineer, not a soldier. When the bullets started flying, that didn't matter anymore. Your ship went down in an uncharted system, and the company, they cut their losses. You should be dead. Maybe you are in some way. But your hands still work, your mind still thinks, and out here, lost in the void, there's only one thing left to do. Find your way back, because broken things can always be fixed. Even you. Click here to start your adventure. As you awaken from your slumber, the familiar hum of the ship's engines fills the air, accompanied by the dim, pulsing lights of control panels casting an otherworldly hue across the cabin. The rhythm of the engines had always been a lullaby, a steady pulse that spoke of safety and routine. But now, something is off. Something has shifted. Alarms, sharp, shrill, and relentless, cut through the tranquility, piercing your ears and your heart alike. Memories come in fragments, like the shreds of a dream dissolving in the harsh light of reality. The camaraderie of your crew, the shared excitement of venturing into uncharted space, the distant laughter that seems so far removed from the present chaos. These were the images that anchored you, that reminded you why you were here. They felt like they belonged to someone else, someone far away from the alarms, the warning lights, the impending sense of doom. You sit up, your body tensing with adrenaline, instincts kicking in. The emergency lights flicker erratically, casting erratic shadows that dance across the walls. You know these patterns, the rhythm of safety, the routine of order. You know when they are shattered. Put your hand on the hull, and your guts tell you everything you need to know. Something is terribly wrong. The ship feels like it's on the brink of falling apart. Your training takes over, muscle memory guiding your actions even as your mind races to catch up. You rise from your bunk, each step deliberate, each breath measured. The chaos threatens to pull you under, but you refuse to give in. This isn't the first time you face danger, and it won't be the last. But this is different. This is your ship, your crew, and you have to make it right. You reach for your uniform, the fabric familiar against your skin, grounding you in this moment. You are not one to back down, not one to give in to fear. You are a pioneer, a seeker of knowledge, a navigator in the endless sea of stars. And right now, you are the only thing standing between order and chaos. With a spark of determination, you step into the corridor, the alarms growing louder, the lights more frantic. The journey ahead is uncertain, but you are ready. You are driven by an insatiable curiosity, by the need to uncover the mysteries of the universe, and nothing, not even the collapse of your ship, will stop you. Try to stabilize the ship. Your heart pounds like a war drum, each beat echoing through your ribcage as you lunge toward the control panel. Your fingers fly across the buttons, tapping switches, adjusting dials, all in a desperate attempt to steady the ship. The alarms scream, a cacophony of urgency that cuts through the static-filled comms. The red glow of warning lights bathes everything in a sinister hue, casting long, jagged shadows across the walls. On the floor, probably left due to sheer panic, you find a map of the galaxy. Despite your frantic efforts, the ship continues its descent into chaos. It lurches and groans as if it's crying out in agony, its systems buckling under the strain. The heat in the cabin rises, beads of sweat trickling down your forehead, mingling with the acrid smell of burning wires. The console flickers, threatening to go dark, and you feel the pit in your stomach grow deeper. You take a step back, surveying the damage. Reality hits you like a punch to the chest. It's all coming undone, unraveling faster than you can mend it. The ship's infrastructure is collapsing, its vital systems failing one by one. The cold grip of despair tightens around your throat, and for a moment, you question whether it's all in vain. But then, something within you refuses to break. A spark of defiance, a glimmer of hope. You grit your teeth, forcing yourself to stand tall amidst the chaos. Even if the odds are stacked against you, even if the darkness threatens to swallow you whole, you will not yield. You will fight until the very end, because that's what survivors do. Steeling yourself for what comes next, you know you have a choice to make. Find a way to escape this crumbling vessel, or delve deeper into the chaos to see if there's a chance to salvage what's left. Map of the galaxy. Ooh. We are here. We are not any of these places. You look at the map. Near the space station, there, you see a planet. You wonder at the possibility, discovering new forms of intelligence and beauty. Let's look for the captain's office. You step into the corridor, your boots thumping against the cold metal grating. The walls are streaked with soot, a grim reminder of the chaos that has torn through the ship. The flickering emergency lights cast eerie shadows, dancing specters that dart in and out of sight, whispering the promise of danger. The corridor stretches ahead, a narrowing tunnel that leads to the heart of the ship, the captain's office. As you move through the passageway, the smell of smoke grows thicker, mingling with the acrid stench of burnt plastic. Your heart races, each step drawing you closer to whatever has befallen this place. You grip the railings for support, feeling the vibrations of the ship's failing engines reverberate through your bones. It feels as though the very ship is crying out in pain, and you're walking into the epicenter of the agony. The doors to the captain's office hangs ajar, metal bent and scorched as if it had been wrenched open by some violent force. You push it with your shoulder, the hinges groaning in protest. The door swings inward with a mournful creak. Inside, the scene is nothing short of a nightmare. The room is in disarray, the furniture upended, papers scattered like dead leaves in a storm. The captain's desk is shattered. Splintered wood and shards of glass littering the floor. But it's the blood that catches your eye, a dark smear against the wall leading to the lifeless form slumped in the corner. The captain, formidable presence in life, now reduced to a grotesque display of violence. His face is twisted, his body is twisted, the face unrecognizable beneath the mangled flesh. As you observe his body, something catches your eyes. Result is 12. I found a med kit. Interesting. Medkits are nice. You step back, the weight of the scene pressing against your chest. The ship is no longer a place of exploration. It's a tomb, silent testament to the battle fought and lost. The echoes of violence hang in the air, stark reminder that you're not just fighting against the elements, you're fighting against something far more sinister. The question now is whether you have the strength to face it. Let's look for an escape pod. Ooh, my inventory. Oh goodness, there's a lot of stuff. Oh, neat, I have the map as well. Ha 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 ha! I have strength and armor now. The ship groans under the strain, metal creaking and tearing as chaos erupts from every corner. Your senses are on high alert, the acrid smell of burning circuits filling your nostrils, the dim lights casting jagged shadows across the walls. You move with urgency, your footsteps pounding against the metal floor, each step a stark reminder that time is slipping away. As you race through the corridors, you can't help but feel the weight of the situation pressing down on you. Debris is strewn across your path, shards of glass, twisted metal, and tattered scraps of the ship's interior. Each piece tells a story of the violence that has torn through the vessel, and you know that finding an escape pod is your only chance to make it out alive. Your heart races, your mind churns with thoughts of your crewmates, their faces flashing before your eyes. The mission, the people you've left behind on Earth, everything depends on you reaching that pod. But the corridors seem to stretch on forever, each turn revealing more destruction, more chaos. Then, through the smoke and haze, you see it, a solitary escape pod, its outer shell scorched but intact. It's tucked into a small alcove, almost hidden from view, as if the ship itself is offering you a sliver of hope. Relief washes over you, but it's tempered by the knowledge that this might be your last chance. You quicken your pace, your breath coming in ragged grasp, your muscles burning with exertion. The escape pod looms closer, a beacon amidst the encroaching darkness. You reach out, your fingers brushing against its cool surface, and for a moment, the chaos fades away. There's a glimmer of hope, a spark of determination that lights the way forward. But you know this isn't over, not by a long shot. The ship is falling apart and there's no time to waste. You need to move, need to act, need to survive. So you grip the handle of the escape pod's door, you steel yourself for whatever comes next. We're not gonna look back, we're just gonna enter the escape pod. Oh. I'm glad we didn't wait. Urgency pulses through your veins, an electric current propels you into the escape pod. The hatch slams shut with a resonant thud, sealing you inside this tiny refuge from the chaos outside. The engines roar to life, vibrating beneath you as the pod detaches from the crippled vessel. Through the small viewport, you watch the ship drift away, solemn silhouette against the infinite darkness. The hatch closes with a heavy groan. Inside, the pod feels like a strange mix of designs. Sleek alloy panels beside brass fittings and cables snaking across the ceiling like veins. The amber lights flicker, never quite steady. 2 habitation rooms split off into the corridor. One has a fold-down cot and a rattling locker. The other is just a padded bench, a cracked view screen fogged with impact frost. There's a ration dispenser, water recycler, and a hatch to the engineering crawl space. But the blast warped it shut. You can't reach the power systems beneath it before you manage to fix it, for which you don't have the equipment now. The air is thin, metallic, tinged with ozone. The battered pod is your world now. Beyond the viewport, the stars shimmer like teeth in the dark. Your engineer's instincts kick in immediately. Every flicker of the lights, every metallic groan, every strange vibration tells you something about the pod's condition. It's not good. Without access to the warped crawl space, you can only guess at how badly the systems are failing, but you know this machine is hanging together by threads. Still, you've patched worse, and survival often means improvisation. First step, assess the ship's situation. You run a careful systems check, eyes scanning every light, every flicker of data. Come on, time to shine. Result is 9. After a complete overview of the vessel that will be your home for the foreseeable future, the broken communications array catches your eye. It sits in the corner of the pod, lifeless, a stark reminder of the isolation that stretches into the darkness of space. To repair it could mean contact with the outside world, a potential lifeline, but such a repair demands time, skill, and a touch of luck. With a heavy heart, you consider your options. Should you focus on repairing the system, risking what little you have, or keep gathering resources and play it safe? Each choice cuts deeper into the unknown. Let's search for supplies. The cramped quarters of the escape pod. Each ration pack you find feels like a miracle. The rows of neatly packed food and water bottles offer fleeting comfort, a touch of normalcy in an otherwise chaotic scenario. You methodically stack them, trying to create some semblance of order amongst the chaos. The pod is cramped, every movement constricted, yet in this tiny space, these supplies are a lifeline to your survival. Then you spot the medkit. Simple, compact, but invaluable in times like this. May not seem like much, but to you it's a symbol of resilience, a tool for pushing through whatever challenges may come. You add it to your pack, knowing it might be the key to surviving the next few days. Now what do you want to do? Keep gathering supplies. You continue sifting through the scattered supplies, your hands methodically lifting one item after another, looking for anything of use. The clatter of metal and the rustling of plastic fill the cramped confines of the escape pod, each sound reverberating against the walls. But then, in dim light, you catch sight of something that makes your heart skip a beat. Familiar form of Lieutenant Sarah Carter, laying still amongst the debris in her spacesuit seemingly intact. Still alive, maybe? Sarah Carter, your ally, your confidant, the one who always had your back in the heat of battle. Memories rush in like a torrent, the countless missions you'd completed together, the banter during downtime, her infectious laugh that seemed to lighten even the darkest moments. She was more than just a comrade, she was a friend and much more, someone you could count on without question. But now, that vibrant spark that once defined her seems extinguished. The sight of her laying there, motionless, fills you with a cold dread. You want to rush to her side to shake her awake, to hear her voice again, but something within you hesitates. It's the stillness, the unnatural stillness that clings to her like a shroud. Let's get out of here. Well, what could go wrong? The air around you feels colder as you approach the woman's lifeless body, the eerie silence broken only by the distant creaks and groans of the damaged pod. You can't help but remembering the curves of her breasts now invisible in her spacesuit. You shake the erotic images to take a better look. The once familiar contours of her face are now marred by the grotesque contortions of death, her beautiful eyes empty and hollow. You struggle to reconcile this image with the warm, vibrant, warm soul she once was, but there's no denying what you see before you. As you move closer, something within her seems to come alive. A twitch, a shudder, a ripple beneath her skin. The alien parasite lurking within her corpse has awoken. The body that was once an object of desire is now little more than a marionette for its insidious control. That realization hits you like a blow to the gut, the creeping horror turning your veins to ice. Without warning, the parasite's puppet lunges toward you, its movements grotesque and violent, an unnatural mockery of human motion. Her voice is gone, replaced by guttural growls and hisses that echo through the cramped confines of the pod. The alien force controlling her seeks to destroy anything in its path, and you are its next target. With your heart racing and adrenaline surging through your veins, you have only moments to react. Will you stand your ground and confront the nightmarish creature, or will you make a desperate bid for escape, knowing that one wrong move could mean certain death? Well, okay, when I said what could go wrong, I hadn't figured that this. I should have. Let's try to flee. Oh. With a desperate lunge, you hurl yourself toward the emergency escape shaft, your breath catching in your throat as you slam the hatch shut behind you. The parasitic mockery that was once Sarah pounds on the sealed door, its guttural screams a haunting reminder of the horror you've just escaped. Each blow against the door reverberates through your suit, a chilling echo that fuels your need to escape. You engage the escape mechanism and feel the rush of decompression as the shaft propels you into the void of space. The ship grows smaller behind you, its silhouette outlined by the dying flames of external chaos. The distant screams of the parasite fade as the distance grows, leaving only the haunting silence of space in their wake. For a moment, you think you see the cadaver's eyes watching you from the shrinking vessel, perhaps even a hint of a smile on its broken lips. But it could be your imagination, a trick played by the fear that still pulses through your veins. Out here, far from everything, it's hard to tell what is real and what is a product of your own terror-stricken mind. Drifting aimlessly through the void, you know there's no way back. The stars are cold and distant, indifferent to your fate. Your oxygen levels are dropping, and you have no hope of reaching a safe harbor. The finality of your situation settles in as you realize you are utterly and irrevocably alone. This is the end, a quiet descent into the cold embrace of the universe. There is no one to hear your final words, no one to share your last moments with. You are a speck in the vast emptiness of space, a brief flicker in the grand scheme of things. Yet even in the face of this ultimate solitude, there's a strange serenity. You faced the unknown, fought against unspeakable horrors, and in the end you found a kind of peace. This is unfortunately the end, or maybe a new beginning. Reach ending 6 of 54. Sheesh. That's... Pod feels different this time. The rush of escape is gone, only tight walls remain. The cot shows the mark of restless sleep. The locker is dented from a kick. The correct view screen is clouded with a trace of condensation, like a message written by unseen hands. The engineering hatch is still jammed. The hum of power seems unreachable. A faint drift slips through a seam in the corridor, evidence of a fracture. For now, the pod holds. But every time you return, it feels less like safety and more like a question. How long can the shell protect you? You can now continue exploring the galaxy. That is a lot of endings. We'll probably just do a couple, because it's a lot of reading for this. And the other games may also have a lot of reading. I'm gonna grab some water here. But we'll do a couple and then try out something else. This is cool, but this is one that I probably would want to just play so I can just read. It's very, very cool, though. A few days has passed since the accident. You spent hours in the ship's propulsion room, tuning and optimizing the thrusters. The hum of machinery and the scent of lubricants are a comforting constant. One day, while recalibrating a fuel injector, you find an old note from a crewmate tucked inside a panel. It's a joke about your meticulousness, a reminder of the camaraderie you shared. You chuckle, pocket the note, and get back to work with renewed dedication. You slowly settle into what seems to be your new home. Days after days, the sounds become more familiar. The small pod has a few containers that you pry open easily. Only one seems to resist. You don't have the necessary tool to access it yet, but you mark it as a task to accomplish later on. The AI Mega Vendor machine installed on board is still nagging you with everything you would need to survive, hidden from you with a cache wall. If only you had the credits. If only you could understand the emergency of your situation. But would that change anything? You could also try your luck at the Galactic Casino. Once all is said and done, you need to start moving away from the spaceship and get going. Time to start your ship engine and try to reach any place at random. Space can't be that large and empty, right? Let's go to the casino. $100. Place bet. I lost. $100. I won! I lost. I won! I won! Hey, I'm up. Let's cash out. Oh yeah, I haven't equipped anything. I should probably do that. Do I get to see what they do before I buy them? Nope. I just bought it. We have super mega boots now. And armor, and glasses, and a watch. Next week's special. 5% promotion on all hygiene products. I don't think I have anything I want to sell. Let's do this. Armor. No? Why can't I think I just can't do it here. Ah, okay. Super mega boots. Object? Object. Sweet. I don't know what any of it does, but here we are. Alright. You start clicking on buttons, start the engine, try to tell him what to do. Seems to react, seems to want to help, go somewhere, but after a few days, you still see nothing else but stars so far away they seem to mock you. Without any known coordinates for a destination and extensive damage to your equipment, your chances to find any form of help seem slim. As the realization of your isolation sinks in, the silent expanse of space stretches out before you, an endless canvas of stars and darkness. The escape pod's hum feels both distant and deafening, the only sound in this vast emptiness. Your heart pounds in your chest, the rhythm of uncertainty and hope. You know that without communications, there's no way to call for help. No voices on the other end to guide you, no signals to offer a glimmer of rescue. It's just you, adrift in the void, a solitary figure in a sea of cosmic silence. Yet, amidst the despair, a flicker of determination lights up within you. Perhaps luck will be on your side, you think. The galaxy is vast, but it is not entirely devoid of hope. You decide to take a chance, to let the currents of fate guide your pod toward a distant destination. With a heavy sigh, you grip the pod's controls, feeling the subtle vibrations of its engines as you push forward into the unknown. Each moment feels like an eternity, the void pressing in on you, but you hold on to the belief that somewhere out there, a chance for salvation awaits. Now it's a game of patience and luck. You watch the stars, tracing their slow movement across the black canvas, hoping for a sign, a distant planet, a passing ship, anything that could offer a lifeline. But the void has no guarantees, only endless possibilities. You close your eyes, focusing on your breathing, willing the fear and uncertainty to subside. This is not the end, you tell yourself. This is merely another chapter in your journey. With a sense of resolve, you resign yourself to drifting in space, trusting the cosmos will reveal its secrets when the time is right. You now need to rely on sheer luck to save yourself. Oh boy. Result is 9. Success! Hooray! Hey, we leveled up. Weeks passed as you drift aimlessly through the void, each day merging into the next, a monotonous cycle of emptiness and solitude. The hum of the escape pod becomes a constant companion, a somber melody that underscores the isolation of your journey. The universe seems indifferent to your plight, an endless expanse of darkness and distant stars that offer no comfort. Your eyes scan the horizon, looking for something, anything, that might break the monotony. The pod's rations dwindle with each passing day, and the silence of the cosmos presses down on you like a weighty shroud. Each passing moment feels like an eternity, the loneliness and isolation gnawing at the edges of your sanity. Just when it seems all hope has abandoned you, the faint glimmer of periphery of your vision catches your eye. It's subtle at first, a distant point of light that grows brighter as you focus on it. Your heart skips a beat as realization dawns. It's a planet, a celestial body that might offer refuge in this vast and indifferent universe. With a surge of excitement, you quickly chart a course toward this newfound beacon of hope. The pod's engines roar as you adjust your trajectory, the distant planet drawing closer with each passing second. It's a flicker of light in the darkness, a spark of possibility amidst the encroaching void. Your heart swells with gratitude as you accelerate toward this distant world, the miracle you've been waiting for. In a universe that had seemed to turn its back on you, this planet is a lifeline, a thread of hope to pull you back from the brink of despair. This journey is not yet over, you tell yourself. It's only just beginning. Start your secondary engine and prepare for landing. A beautiful blue ball with some green on it. As you draw closer to the planet, you marvel at its beauty, captivated by its otherworldly allure. The planet's surface is a mosaic of contrasting landscapes, towering mountains that rise majestically against the horizon, their peaks obscured by wisps of cloud, while vast oceans stretch out as far as the eye can see, shimmering in the light of distant stars. In between, a sprawling forest stretches into the distance, its canopy dense and mysterious, while crumbling ruins hint at a once thriving civilization that gets picked up by some of your instruments. You can only guess the informations that your pod could provide if it was back to a totally functioning state. You start landing on the planet's surface, eager to uncover its secrets firsthand. We're gonna get eaten by some sort of large animal, I'm sure. You guide your pod toward the planet's surface, the thrill of discovery coursing through your veins as you prepare to embark on a new adventure. The planet looms ever closer, its features becoming more distinct with each passing moment. As you breach the atmosphere, you're greeted with a breathtaking sight. The planet's surface stretches out beneath you, a vast expanse of untamed wilderness and ancient ruins waiting to be explored. Mountains rise majestically on the horizon, their peaks shrouded in mist, while dense forests blanket the land below, teeming with life and mystery. With steady hands, you guide your pod toward a suitable landing spot, but as soon as you make contact with the planet's surface, disaster strikes. The impact is jarring, sending shockwaves reverberating through the pod as it skids to a halt. Alarms blare as you assess the damage. The pod has sustained heavy damage, its hull cracked and systems offline. But you are alive still. This is the first time you walk on a new world. You make a mental note of this feeling, promising yourself to remember every nuance while already forgetting half of them, like a fool you always will be. Well, I hope there's stuff here, because we're not leaving, apparently. Let's take a look around. That's cool. Beautiful, terrifying, unnatural. You should not be here. Earth calls you back, your brain screams that you need to leave. You shake your head as if to reset all the horrors that haunt you. It works, for a time. The landscape of this alien world stretches before you. Where will you go next? You smile at the sight of your planet, the one you discovered. Never has any human set foot here. You don't know that. The distance, several points of interest catch your eyes. Crumbling ruins, dense forest, glittering crystals, endless plains, majestic mountains. Let's check out the crumbling ruins. The ruins, ancient and imposing, rise from the landscape like the skeletal remains of a forgotten civilization. Towering columns and crumbling arches stand as silent sentinels, their surfaces etched with cryptic symbols worn smoothly by the passage of time. The air is thick with the weight of history, a palpable sense of lost grandeur and lingering mystery. But the ruins are not devoid of life. As you venture deeper into the heart of the decaying structures, movement catches your eye. Emerging from the shadows, a group of aliens emerges, their forms lithe and sinewy. Their skin, a mottled blend of iridescent scales, glistens in the dim light. Their eyes, large and predatory, lock onto you with unwavering intensity. These aliens, clearly the descendants of the civilization that once thrived here, are far from welcoming. Their posture is aggressive, muscles coiled with tension, and their sharp, angular features are twisted into snarls of hostility. Primitive weapons, forged from metal and bone, glint menacingly in their hands as they approach with a swift and coordinated precision. Their leader, a towering figure adorned with ornate tribal markings, steps forward, his eyes narrowing as he assesses you. The hostility in their gaze is unmistakable. They perceive you as a threat, an intruder in their sacred domain. The air hums with the electric charge of impending violence. You have mere moments to decide your course of action. Do you prepare to defend yourself against your attack, or do you attempt to communicate? Smart money is defend, but we're an engineer. Let's try communicate. With a deep breath, you raise your hands in a gesture of peace, hoping to convey your lack of hostile intent. Words, tentative and carefully chosen, spill from your lips as you attempt to bridge the gap between cultures. Leader's eyes flicker with something, curiosity perhaps, or the faintest glimmer of understanding. The result is 11. You manage to explain you are not an invader. Or at least you manage to make them laugh enough at your attempt that they stop considering you as meat. In the end, they talk among each other and gesture you to follow them. They show you a place where they store all ship parts of the poor bastards who crashed here. In the middle of a mountain of steel and bones, old and new, you find parts you're looking for. Get what you need and get the hell out of here. Money has been added to your purse. Health potion, watch, boots. I mean, I'll just take all the things. There's no reason not to. An alien gun. Sweet. The pod is repaired. You escape safely. Explore the galaxy. We somehow survived. Let's put our gun on. The SS Celestia perished a month ago already. Tinkering with the ship's life support systems, you ensure everything runs smoothly. One day, you discover a minor fault in the oxygen recycler. As you fix it, you remember your daughter's fascination with your work, her curious questions about space travel. The thought of her innocent wonder makes you smile, driving you to ensure the ship is as safe as possible. The locked container still mocks your attempts at prying it open. It seems to need an outside authorization, like if it was designed to wait for some event to give you whatever it contains. Mega vendor. I have money now, again, I think. Once more, you choose the path less traveled, drawn by the call of the unknown. The stars become your compass, each one a potential gateway to new adventures in uncharted worlds. You set your course with a mix of excitement and uncertainty, knowing that the galaxy holds secrets waiting to be discovered. It's time to look for a planet to explore. Temptation to call Earth is still there, but also the infinite possibility of adventures if you decide to continue your journey among the stars. Guided by stars and your luck, you start exploring, and just when you thought all was lost, you just found a possible destination. Start your engine and let's go there. Okay. I start the engine. The result is 12. Coordinates lead you to a planet unlike any other you've encountered. As your ship descends through its atmosphere, you are greeted by a breathtaking vista of verdant landscapes, shimmering lakes, and tranquil skies painted in hues of lavender and gold. The air is crisp and filled with the scent of blooming flora, a stark contrast to the cold emptiness of space. For a moment, you allow yourself to be captivated by the planet's serene beauty, a welcome respite from your long and arduous journey. As you explore the planet's surface, you come across a well-trodden path leading to a small settlement nestled between rolling hills and ancient trees. The outpost is a quaint collection of rustic buildings, each one constructed from local materials and adorned with vibrant murals depicting scenes from the planet's rich history. The atmosphere is peaceful, the quiet hum of daily life interspersed with laughter and conversation. You spot what could be a merchant, and in the center of the outpost, a gathering area. Let's go to the merchant. Helmet of Power. Let's sell a watch. No, we can't sell the boots. Can't sell the armor. We can sell this. Let's keep that for now. We always have the best prices on this side of the galaxy. How much have I got? 800? Let's get Gloves of Power. Go to the gathering area. Why can't I? Okay, I can't do that here. You make your way to the central gathering area where travelers from various parts of the galaxy have come together. They share stories and resources, forming a tight-knit community that welcomes newcomers with open arms. The outpost, though small, is a bustling hub of activity, a place where weary travelers can find solace and companionship. You find a lot of different aliens there, all seem quiet and soft-spoken. In the middle of the outpost, you notice an older man, a human like you. You can't believe it. This is the first human you encountered since the accident at the station. He's sitting alone at a table, his eyes scanning the crowd with a mixture of curiosity and nostalgia. He has the look of someone who has seen many worlds and heard countless stories. As you approach, he looks up and smiles, inviting you to join him. "Welcome, fellow human," he says warmly. "I am Samuel. I see you're new here. What brings you to this corner of the galaxy?" You introduce yourself and share your story, the endless wandering, the battles fought, and the longing for Earth. Samuel listens intently, his expression one of deep empathy. "I know that feeling all too well," he replies. "I've been a traveler for many years, always searching, always hoping." "You remind me of myself younger. Would you be interested in a very lucrative opportunity?" If you don't hear more of what Samuel has to say, perhaps you could settle on the outpost or continue exploring the galaxy. "Let's settle here. This seems nice." You find companionship and safety within its walls, living a content life away from the chaos of the galaxy. But you can't escape from wondering if you made the right choice each time you think about Earth and your daughter. Maybe you should make another choice if you could go back to the start. Ending 49 of 54. There's some interesting stuff here. Needs a little bit of editing on the text, but I think this one just came out, like, real recently. Yeah, like 4 days ago. Yeah, this is neat. We've only done a couple of paths of the engineer on A Spaceship Accident. There are a few other characters to choose. So check this one out if you want to have more space choose your own adventure story. I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to run ads and BRB. And then I'm going to come back with something else. Stick around.